Hello guys and girls, in today's tutorials I'm going to be teaching you guys on control flows, for loop, while loop and do while loops again in Java full course for beginners 2026. Okay, let's get started. So I'll just open my IntelliJ and go to my source folder and go new and then package. Then I'll name the package, and this is our course 4. I'll name it course 4 and enter. Then under our package, this, so my hierarchy would be cool and not disorganized. So then this, I'll just name this main or something, anything you do you. So then I'll just increase this to 20. I think 20 is a good thing, a good size that you guys can see very well. Okay, so in Java, just think of a loop like a way to repeat code. A loop, it's very good in much cases, and like you can say, hey Java, do this over and over and over again. Okay, and it's very cool if you know how to use a loop. You can use it to create, to check for even numbers. You can use it to keep asking someone a question till the person gives the correct answer, and many other things. And it's very necessary in most programming languages. Okay, so there are three main types of loop in Java. We have the for loop. For loop is when you know the amount of flows you want it to go. If you know that you want the user to do something 10 times, you should use a for loop. But while loop is, it keeps going when until the condition is true. Do while loop is just it executes the code first before checking the while loop condition and stuff like that. So firstly, I'm going to go with for loop because I think it's what I'm supposed to go with first though. So I won't bore you guys up with much talks and stuff. I'll just try to make this video and this tutorial very interesting and make you guys understand every single thing and you need to know about loops. Okay, let's get started. So I'll start with PSVM, public static void main. I hope I'm correct. Then tab. Okay, so it gives me this. So this is the shortcut. I'm just giving you guys a few tricks. Then you can say let's count a number. Let's use a for loop to tell the system to clap or something. Okay, so I'll just use a for loop. So to start using a for loop, I'll do, so you need the static void main strength args and stuff to make the program function properly. So I'll use a for loop to tell this. So you write for, then inside the for loop, what do you want to do? And so it starts with ends I. We just named I. You can name it counter or anything, but most programmers use I. So ends I will start with 1, and then I is, as long as I is less than or equals 5, it keeps going. Then you have to increment it by something. So you say start, end, and the increment, start, end, and the increment, or you can call it the step. So it's the triple S, start, stop, and step. So what we have to do is then it increases by plus and stuff. So it's the integer. I've already declared it, so you don't need to declare it an integer again. So the integer to start from 1 to 5. Okay, so if we just say SOUT tab, so what do we want to print? Let's say we want to print, let's print I. So you see I will go from 1 then to 5. So if I should run this program, hold on for a sec, it takes time though. Wait, hold on, it's running. Okay, yeah, so you can see the program right here. I'll just scroll down a little bit. You see 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so that's it. So that is the basic thing you need to know for a for loop, and that is all you need to know though. But many other things, you guys find duplicate words and other things. You can count down happy birthday and stuff like that. But mostly what I'm going to do for you guys now is just a few things that you need to understand in using a for loop. So I'll just quickly, let's work on a Fizzballs game. I think it will make you guys understand how a for loop work, and we're going to also still like add like modulus operator, and it also give you a very good concept on how modulus operator work. Okay, let's get started. Then this how just all you need to know on for loops. So this I is all this, I is equals to 1, and it keeps going as long as I is less than or equals 5. So that's why it's counted 1 2 3 4 5 right here. Okay, so then you increment it. You can also decrease it and stuff like that, but I won't. Okay, let me just do something like that. Okay, so you can do minus minus. So I is equals to 5, and it keeps going as long as I is greater than or equals 1. or something. So let's run it. Let's see what happens. I hope this doesn't take time this time. So you see it's a program right here. So that's it. It goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can decrease it, you can increase it. Okay. So let's just quickly do the Fizzballs game so you guys will have more understanding on while loops and how on how for loops work, so we can move to do while loops and while loops as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is let me just cancel this, and inside here we are going to count from 1 to 100, and I'm going to explain it what a Fizzballs game is. If from 1 to 100, if the number is 3, it gives fizz. If the number is 5, or if the number is divisible by 3, it gives fizz. If the number is divisible by 5, it gives balls. Then if it's divisible by 5 and 3 as well, it gives fizz balls. And okay, let me code so you guys can have more understanding. Okay, so I'll just wait, hold on. Yeah, cool. So firstly, we are going to to make this program short, we'll just count from 100. Okay, from 1 to 100. And then what we're going to do is, then if we use our if and else statement, so we can make use of everything we have learned so far. And then if I modulus 3 is equals 0, and I modulus 5 is equals 0. So what this means is that if I is divisible by 3, if I divided by 3 will not give any remainder, that means I is divisible by 3. And if I and 5 does not give any remainder, that means I is divisible by 5 as well. So what we have to do is SOUT tab, then we'll print Fizzballs. Fizzballs. Okay, so then else if we are going to use our else if statement as we did in our last course, and then I'll say else if, then I'll now add else if I modulus 3 is equals 0. So else if I is divisible by 3 is what this means apparently. So else if I is divisible by 3, because if I divisible by 3 is equals 0, it doesn't give any remainder or stuffs, because modulus calculates the remainder. So if the remainder is 0, that means the number is divisible by 3. Okay, so let's print out something, and we'll print fizz. Okay, so fizz. Then still inside the loop, we're going to do our else if statement again. Then else if I is divisible by 5, or I modulus 5 equals to 0, that means I is divisible by 5, then we'll give balls, SOUT tab, then we'll give balls. Okay, so balls, cool. Okay, so what it's saying apparently is, let me reduce this a little bit. Yeah, I think it's just covering everywhere. So I think I should just close this. Shift escape. Okay, so what's saying is, if both are divisible, then use Fizzball. So why I use this at first is so it won't complicate the system. It will not say, oh, 3, oh, 5. It's because if you use 3 before this, if you check for 3 then 5 before both of them, it just doesn't work properly, because it's firstly, oh, 3 is fine, then it goes, it doesn't just go to this one. So you have to do this first, Fizzballs, then fizz, then balls, then you need your else statement, or it won't print anything out. So else just print I, SOUT. So just print I. So now let's run our program so you guys can see what I mean. So this is a very popular game. You can also do checking for even numbers and odd numbers and stuff like that, but this is a very popular game. So let me zoom out console very well a little bit. So what you see here is you see in the console you see 1, 2, 3 fizz, 4, 5 balls, 6 fizz because it's divisible by 3, then 7, 8, sorry, this scrolling too much, and 9 fizz is divisible by 3, 5 balls, and so on. So you can see fizz balls 15 is fizz balls because it's divisible by 5 and also divisible by 3 as well. So that's the program. I just hope it helps you guys understand more on for loops. Okay, so let's move to while loops. Then I'll just quickly delete this so it doesn't block all our programs. It doesn't, like, interrupt our program, like, make it look too occupied. Then I'll go to a while loop. So what's the while loop? It keeps going, executing a certain amount of code as long as a certain condition is true. Okay, to make this fun, I'm going to do a very cool program. And firstly, let me import this. I think it's important since I'm going to call it, I'm going to be taking a user's input. So I will import java.io.console. Okay, then this. Then what I'm going to do next is then what we're going to do is uh console console. So this is the new way that we're going to be collecting users input in 2026. So stick along with this. Equals system dot console. Okay, so that's it. So we're going to be collecting users input. So what we're going to do now, no need to do scanner and close and other things like that. So because that's why I think that this is more cool. So what we're going to do, we're going to save the answer, the user's response. Let's say it's a girl or something. So we'll save the answer in string answer equals empty empty. Okay, so we are going to empty answer for now. So we are going to use our while loop so you understand more on how while loops work. So we'll just call the variable answer. So we are going to we'll ask the user if he or she loves you, and it keeps going till the person say yes I do or something like that. So that's how a very cool way to understand while loops. So we'll say while the why not? This is a not operator, is a logical operator or something. So it's like not. Why not the answer dot? Why not the answer equals? So we use equals because Java use equals and stuff. So why the answer is not equals? So I'll just say yes. Okay, so yes. So what we have to do now, let's use a very cool thing that you guys have to know about. We are calling it ignore case, equals ignore case. Okay, so the equals ignore case, how it works is that it doesn't matter whether you type the yes in capital letter, small letter, uppercase Y, then small case yes, and any way you type it, it still goes for it that way. So why the answer is not equals yes, so keep asking her. We'll keep asking her. I don't mind the errors though. This is like, I don't know why it's giving these errors, but I think it still works properly. You know that IntelliJ is too conscious even of spelling errors in comments. And so we'll just print sorry, SOUT tab. Then we'll say do you love me? Then are we like this? Okay. Oh, so that's it. So what we're going to do now is we are going to store the answer variable inside a since we're using console, we're going to do answer since we have already stored the answer right here like an empty string. So we're going to say answer equals console.writeLine. So it's just more like console.readLine. So it's just more like C# or something. You see the error has gone away, so it's cool that way. So we have to find a way to exit the loop. Yeah. So you keep asking the user, "Do you love me?" and she keeps responding and saving the answer. So as long as the answer is not equals yes, then it keeps asking the user. That's what the while loop is for. Then what are we going to do when the user escapes from the while loop? This is something cool. Let me say SOUT tab, and then I'll say or something. I love you too. Okay, so I think that's the program right there. So let's just run it so you see what happens. I just hope this doesn't crash. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me just zoom this out so you guys can see a little bit. Okay, do you love me? No, sorry. Oh, let me just crash this program. It's lame. Wait, hold on. It's not lame though. Let me just try something else. I think I should use print here so it will be more cool. Okay, let's run it again. Print so it doesn't go to a new line. The print ln goes to a new line, so it doesn't go to a new line. So I'll just zoom this out again. Do you love me? Let's say she say no. Do you love me? No. Do you love me? No. I love your dad. Do you love me? No. And stuff like that. Okay, maybe she's tired or something. And let me hit yes. Oh, I love you too. So that's it. So that's the program. So that's how a very good way you can understand while loops. And again, for the ignore case, let's say I run this program again, and let me zoom it out a little. So not that. I'm down a little bit. Yeah, let me zoom this out a little bit. Do you love me? Say no. Okay, so let me say she used a capital yes for it. It still goes. That's why the ignore case is there. But once you miss out from the ignore case, it only checks for yes and nothing else, like this particular way of writing it. So that's all you need to understand in using a while loop. I think this is a very good example on how you're going to understand using a while loop. Okay, so the same thing, it's still the same thing as a do while loop, but this time around, how a do while loop works is that executes it runs the code at least once before checking the condition in the while loop. All you need to do to use a do while loop, it comes in handy most of the times. So all you need to do is just put do right here. Then under here you will sorry. I think it's more preferable we just copy everything then. So you copy your while loop, the condition you need in while loop like this, Control C, then delete it, then add a do right here. Do this and put your while loop under here, then make sure you close it with your semicolon right here. Okay, so it does the same thing though. So if I run the program, you see it does the same thing. Okay, do you love me? Okay, let me zoom this out a little bit. Let's say no, no, nah, and let's say we just type the yes like Y-E-S, like it still goes because we're ignoring the case. Anyhow she types it, it still doesn't matter as long as you can read it. Okay, so then that is it. For a do while loop, all you need to know is that it runs a particular program for a certain amount of time before checking the condition. So it comes in handy most of the times, and you see most programmers using a do while loop in Java. So because I can't remember any case where it can come in handy, but it's I promise you that it comes in handy like most of the times. Okay, so there's things, a final trick I'll try to make help you guys remember a loop. So think of a loop like washing your hands while dirty, taking steps for every single step in, and also taking steps for every single step in a staircase, and try until success. Do it, then check if it worked. There are many things that you can use a while loop to do, many games and many programs that you don't know that works with a while loop, a while loop, a for loop as well. And okay, I think that's all you need to know for loops. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on my latest videos, and leave a like and comment as well. And your feedback is really helpful. It helps me create better content for you guys. Okay.